Welcome back. You're watching the Evening Edit. Let's bring in our next guest, Republican Senator of South Carolina. It is Senator Tim Scott. Great to have you on, sir.
Well, thank you, Liz. You look great on TV. I'm sorry I can't be there with you, but it's good to be on the telephone with you.
Oh, it's great to have you on, too. This growing global backlash against China. Now, the World Health Organization leader basically said this to the United States, the administration, stop the politicizing. That's a quote. Stop turning this into a political game because you're going to just create more body bags. The pushback against that, Senator, is it is you who helped China create the body bags in the first place by helping who cover up the outbreak. Your reaction to that fight?
Well, it's no doubt that our Justice Department has got it right, and that's why we're looking at FCC making it harder for the telecoms from China to do business in America. Think about this. The WHO worked in a collaborative fashion with the Chinese to, at the very least, deceive the world as it relates to the severity of this now pandemic. And frankly, they revealed very little to us that we needed to know early on that could have stemmed the tide, saved thousands of lives. But now we're at 1.5 million cases across this globe, in part because of the ineptitude of the WHO working hand in glove with the Chinese.
Okay, so what we have discovered in our reporting is that the outbreak in China may have happened earlier, it may have happened in the summer of last year or October. It started to sweep through Wuhan in November. We know that patient zero supposedly was found in November. The World Health Organization blocked countries like Taiwan. Taiwan was warning that China was infecting the world. WHO pushed back on Taiwan. China then started to censor and arrest whistleblower doctors. It then started to hoard medical supplies, 2.4 billion items in ventilators and masks. It tried to corner the market on remdesivir, tried to get a patent on remdesivir before it let the world know about the outbreak. And, sir, when you see people in Afghanistan and in India and in Bangladesh on social media now criticizing China, China has a big credibility problem on the world stage. What else can be done? Should you push back against China at the World Trade Organization and at the UN as well? What do you think?
I think the first thing we have to do is take a look at our funding of the WHO. It is important for us to get them called on the carpet and have them become more transparent. I do think that the FCC's approach of looking for ways to basically strip out of our country Chinese telecom sends a powerful, strong signal that we mean business. President Trump's leadership has been fantastic on this issue. He was leaning in when the rest of folks were leaning out on this Chinese situation. I'm thankful for his leadership. Those are two specific things that we could do to bring them to the table and to solve the problem from the onset and move us forward.
You know, and here's the other story, too. I want to drill down. It is interesting how now the world is waking up to a humanitarian crisis that's been created by what happened and what continues to happen in China. The world cannot withstand another pandemic out of China. We've been decades at this with what has been going on inside China with its unsafe and gruesome wet markets that are now, reports coming in, reopening up. Here's Facebook users in Afghanistan sharing posts calling for China to, quote, be isolated completely until the Chinese change their lifestyle and, quote, eat things which are normal. Also, people in Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Asia, and in Europe pushing back against China for its poor quality products like COVID-19 testing. Your reaction to that story?
We have long suspected that it is very difficult to actually trust any information coming out of China. The fact that we've had more tests done in our country than almost every place else in the world, country by country, suggests that we are transparent. When you're talking about someone who wants to be a global leader, they need to have the same standard of transparency as we do. They should have the same level of integrity as we do. When you hear countries across this world, not always friends of ours, chiming in and talking about how bad China is, it only reinforces the fact pattern that we saw early on. And one of the reasons why we had so many questions about why they wouldn't let our doctors in to help, why they kicked out our press. These are telling signs that China knew up front what they were hiding, number one. Number two, they wanted to have all the cures, all of the information, supplies, and equipment in their backyard, and it slowed down the recovery here in America because we couldn't get our hands on some of the PPE that we had companies producing in China. This is all coming full circle. It's one of the reasons why I am thankful that President Trump is leaning in. Our DOJ, FCC, and other agencies are calling them to the carpet because this is something that could have at least been mitigated more, if not even slowed down to the point where it may not have had the loss of thousands, tens of thousands of lives here in our country and, frankly, around the world.
Yeah. That's right, Senator. I mean, the one study said 95% of this outbreak could have been stopped if China just stepped up to the plate. They built a Potemkin village of deceptions and lies, and they've been bullying the world and bullying who to basically toe the line with what they are doing. Senator, you're terrific. Thanks so much for coming on. Come back soon.
God bless. Happy Easter.